We're down at Linear Fisheries and it's not really my style of fishing.
But it is mine, therefore I propose a little challenge.
We're going to be fishing with different methods.
We're both using F20 rods.
We'll be fishing the same swim.
And the best man win.
I won't lie, I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued to see what it's like.
Well, since it's your first time here, I'll let you have a pick, left or right.
Will there be a better side? Go on, I'll take.
You were going to say left there, you sure one just bossed there out to the right?
I'll take left.
Yeah?
Yeah, go on. You have the bosher. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to... Not this style of angling. It's not the style of angling. I've fished this way quite a few times before. But the venue, this is like ultimate day ticket venue. It's the best day ticket venue you'll get. And I've never really fished anywhere quite like this. The thing that stirred me straight away is how busy it is. I don't like seeing other people when I'm fishing, and looking over Tony's shoulder right now, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bivvies, and that's before I even look to my right and my left. So that's the only thing that is probably putting me off a little bit, but we're seeing loads of carp out there. Finley's confident. I've seen some pictures of the fishing here, they're nice, so yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen.
Henry's picked the left-hand side. To be fair, there's a lot of fish showing on that side, but when I've fished in this peg in the past, I have caught on the right-hand side more. I've literally just seen one bosh out on the other side. They're showing absolutely everywhere, to be fair. Spoke to a few people. Some people are catching, some people aren't. I think the best thing to do when you come down here is listen to people, but sort of take it with a pinch of salt. With what I've seen out there, with them fizzing and crashing, I can imagine the carp want a bit of food. Other people around the lake, they haven't been catching overbait, but I'm going to ignore it, go off my gut instinct, go with what works down here for me normally, and try and beat him. Or work as a team at least. If we get one fish before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll be happy. If not, I'll be starting to scratch my head.
So as soon as you scratch the surface, it seems that Finley's angling, everything falls apart. He's just told me he's not fished here for 3 years. He's also told me, even though he cut his teeth on this venue, he's never won a competition here, despite doing literally hundreds. And then the bloke in the swim, we've chosen to go in, he's chosen to go in, we found out he's blanked. So it's all crumbling around you, Finn, this illusion of a linear master. Yeah, we'll see.
When was the last time? Oh, no, I tell a lie, I fished here last June. Had 17 on zigs up to 32 pound. Yeah. But yeah, I used to fish down here all the time as a kid. All my competitions that I used to do were down here. I never won any of the competitions, but I came close. So I'd like to think I know a thing or two about this lake. Found the spot already. Bit of silt. Feels like there's a little bit. I clicked up originally at 22, dragged it back to around 20, and it felt pretty clean, the odd tap of gravel. But yeah, I'm going to clip up and start filling it in, I reckon. That's my game plan. Came with a game plan, going to stick with it. I have actually hit a few fish up in the water though, but I'm going to ignore that.
Hit that a bit hard. I forgot I clipped up. Finn's going long, I might as well go a bit shorter in it. Yeah, it's easier as well. He's not fished here for 3 years, so he didn't have a clue what he's talking about, I don't think. I hear Oxley's carp love it on the gravel.
Just going to get a couple of rigs ready. I've went for one D rig and one blowback rig. No real reason why, just feel like it. On one rig I'm going to fish quite a natural hook bait. I'm going to be putting a few worms in the mix, and on the blowback rig I'm going to get a little 12mm yellow Scopex squid pop-up, and I'm just going to trim it down a little bit just so it sits like a wafter, just to match the sweet corn which I'm putting in the mix. It's something that I like to do it at the start of any session, just sort of play around with hook bait. And what you normally find as the session goes on is there'll be one colour that's certainly catching a lot more compared to the others, and I can sort of make the adjustment as the session goes on. But normally yellow on oxlace is the one.
So my starting tactic, I'm going to go for solid bags. I do like a solid bag. Finley Spodding's going horrendous over there, which is a good sign for me for this competition. I do like a solid bag. I think, especially in venues like this, where there's so many carp and they can be a little bit wary, that single mouth where they just come down and go for it is sometimes better than a spreader bait. And not even a big spreader bait I'm talking about there, I'm talking about like a spreader bait with a spod. So that's my thinking. If it doesn't work and Philly starts catching loads with normal rigs spotted over the top, then I'll swap over. But just over recent months, I have caught quite a few fish on this tactic. So I'm just thinking it is the way to go.
Yeah, that one. It's questionable. I mean, yeah, it could work. It used to work back in the day. You all right? I mean, the showing near him. That's all I can really say, whether it's going to work or not. It was off my advice, to be fair. It's a big edge down here at Linear, the old spam.
Your edge, you little lie. I messaged you.
So, yeah, I'm sure the results will speak wonders on this trip. He's just filling it in at the moment, copying me. His solid bags haven't worked yet. But I'm not going to lie, a lot of the fish do seem to be up in the water. And I feel like I should put a zig out, but I'm dedicated to filling it in on a spot. I'm going to stick with it. The conditions, it's overcast, there's a bit of a chop blowing down here. Everything's screaming for the fish to get on the feed. So 2 rods out on the spot, obviously we're sharing a peg, so we can only fish 2 rods each. Maybe if I was fishing a 3rd rod, I'd put a zig out, but no. Stick to the game plan, and Henry can stick to the spam. Oh, no. The spam! The spam!
Come on, the bloody spam! They doubted me. They said it would never catch a carp. But solid bags over the spam has produced the first bite. Don't think it's massive. But it's nice after seeing so many fish show in front of us. I was really starting to get worried. We're going to have to do something a bit special to land these carp because there were just so many over us. But yeah, just had a little take out the blue almost.
Here it comes.
Come on. Come on. Finley Todhunter, that is 1-0, my friends.
Well deserved, to be fair, I'll give you that.
Oh,
your first linear carp, I can't say anything bad about that.
Come on. That's my first spam caught carp, I reckon, in about 15 years.
I wasn't even born 15, yeah. Yeah.
Faux meat, that's what it is. It's not a real meat, is it? Spam. What animal is it? Could put a bit of pork? Yeah.
It's like crab sticks.
Yeah. Yeah, you got Finn, try that. Crab sticks. Well, I don't know what I'm happier with, the fact that I've caught my first linear carp or that the spam baiting approach worked. Either way, it's nice to get a bite really, really quickly. We've probably only been fishing properly for about an hour. I'm sure we're gonna get some more. There's still loads of carp in front of us. So I'm happy with my approach. Finley's getting itchy feet and he's recasting every 5 seconds at the minute, but I'm sure we're gonna catch quite a few more. So I'm gonna slip him back, sit back, wait for the next bite. Solid bags have made a little bit of a resurgence in my fishing recently. I forgot just how good a tactic they are, especially on venues like this, where the fish are quite pressured. That single bite of food They just come down, they nail it, they're quite happy to do that, and you do get the bite, as opposed to sometimes they can shy off bigger beds of bait. When I'm tying them, I use the speed load solid bag system, and I pretty much exclusively use them in size medium. The speed load system makes them really, really easy to tie, and medium, I think, is that perfect amount of bait, and it also makes them big enough so that you can actually cast them quite a long way. In terms of what I put in the bag, it's always small food particles so that I can make them quite neat, quite compact, which again makes them much nicer for casting. I'm talking smoking stick mix, 2 and 6 mil pellet, crushed up boilie, things like that, things that I can make really, really compact in that bag. And as I said, I have been using them quite a lot recently. I've had a little resurgence with them, and they've been catching me quite a lot of fish. They've already done me a bite here, and I'm going to stick with them for as long as they carry on doing that.
This is the mix which I'm going to beat Henry on. Yes, I'm currently in last place, or second place depending on how you look at it, but I will beat him. I don't have spam in my mix, I've just got 3 ingredients. The first one is sweet corn carp, absolutely love it down here at Linear. Then I've added some hemp. Hemp's just there just to help keep the carp grubbing around in the swim, and then I've also added some pellets. With this mix I've tried to keep it quite heavy just because where I'm fishing out in open water, there is quite a bit of undertow currently with the wind, and I felt like if I put flake in or lighter food items, and I just felt like it's going to disperse through the water and I'm not going to be baiting accurately over the top of the rigs. I'm also adding a little bit of chopped worm just to help with a little bit of natural scent in the mix. But it's coming into evening time now. I'm going to redo the rods, top up with a little bit more and try and drag a few carp onto the spot. It was like, I heard the first few bleeps and I thought it's probably one of them geese, and then next minute I could hear the spoon.
I knew it was, because they're all up here, isn't they, as you ran round?
Yeah, it's not really doing a lot, it's just sort of kited down the margin, but a fish is a fish. And after having about 500 shores over us today, I'm glad.
More, mate.
I didn't really care if it was going to be you again or me, I just wanted to see one of us catch another fish, so.
Yeah, I was getting very worried there.
Couldn't have came at a worse time though while we're eating. I'm a bit peckish now.
Oh, I think it's a fully, lad.
Fully?
Go on.
Were you not expecting to see a fully?
Oh, definitely not. Is there a lot in here?
There's a few. It's not the biggest in the world, but it's certainly pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get it in the net.
Ah, well done, Finn.
Hey, thank you very much.
Well done, mate. Good
Spot on,
stuff.
cheers. The big plated.
Little player, this
Little
one.
plated. There we have it. It's been a stressful day for me, I'm not gonna lie. Multiple carp have been showing pretty much all over the lake, but more importantly in front of me and Henry. I've tried a few things, had rods over bait, even tried a zig at one point, but yeah, just while we've sat down to have a bite to eat, the solid bag which I cast out probably about 45 minutes ago now, maybe about an hour, it's just absolutely screamed off, and I've been able to join in the party, which means it's 1-1. However, Henry's got the biggest, I've got the best looking, so far, like I said, it's a draw. But I want to win this, so I'm going to put it back, get the rod back out, have a bite to eat, and hopefully it's not going to be the last of the evening. Well, we were just getting ready to go to bed. I just put on my warm socks and was getting ready to watch some Love Island USA. That's what we're watching these days. And yeah, I've just had a bit of a weird occurrence on the right hand rod. Then I had a bit of a drop back, and originally I thought it was a tench, but it certainly isn't a tench. It's starting to pull back a bit now, it's in the margin. It's a good sign. I just topped up the spot maybe half an hour ago, if that. So yeah, it's a good sign because, to be fair, this is the first bite that I've had off the baited spot. And throughout the course of the day, I have put quite a lot of bait out there. And fishing 2 rods on it, I don't feel like I'm sort of maximising what you normally would if you were fishing 3 rods over there. But if I am correct, this is the match the hatch double yellow corn rod. Like I say, I've put a lot of bait out there, so for this to go, there must be a few carp out there. I'm just going to concentrate just as it goes under that other rod. It's a good start to the night. Well, here it comes. I'm just going to have to take a couple of steps out into the lake just because it's really shallow in front of this peg, and the last thing I want to do is sort of drag the fish along the shallow water and potentially hook pull it. But compared to the first fish, looks probably double, if not triple the size. So I want to see this one go a minute. Come on. Double plastic corn for the win. And we've got ya. Hey, fish number 2. 20 pounder. That will do.
24 on the dot.
Bosh.
Bosh.
I don't think I've caught a carp this long for a very long time. It sort of looks like a grass carp. I'm sure it's got a few stories to tell, but it's my second carp of the evening. I was just getting tucked up into bed. I had a liner maybe about 5 minutes ago on the right hand rod. So yeah, I had a feeling there was a few fish out there, and then I had a savage drop back. To begin with, I thought it was a tench, but luckily for me, it wasn't. I've just put the rod back out and I've already had a liner, so there's certainly still a few fish out there. There's enough bait out there to nick a couple more bites throughout the night. Get in. Caught one last night, Ben.
Yeah, sadly, it wasn't bigger than your one last night.
Is it not? Well, at least you were being truthful. I would have said it was 35 pounds.
No, it's probably about 15, 16 pounds. So you're still, let's do it the point system.
Go on.
So you get a point for the most fish, which we're drawing on at the moment. You get a point for the biggest fish, which you've got at the minute.
Yeah.
And a point for the best fish, which I'd probably give to your fully.
Yeah, it was a nice fish to be fair.
So you're winning 2-0 at the minute.
Well,
but it could change with one fish.
Any moment, yeah. I've seen the odd one this morning, but I think like when it goes like this, you've just got to sort of stick it out, and in maybe half an hour or an hour, I'll redo the rods, put a bit more bait out. But like I've seen that guy over there catch one early doors. Like, I lost one maybe 4 o'clock this morning, and he was certainly up when I was up. But apart from that, I think it's just sit on your hands. I mean, what time did you have your bite yesterday? It was like 2 o'clock, was it?
I won at 1:30. And then I actually had a little drop back about 3:30 where I redid the rod. So I must have gone back to bed and you had your fish pretty much straight after.
Yeah, so it's just waiting for them bite times really, I think.
So you do have to go through little periods of waiting, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing in the world just to be sat here eating bacon sandwiches, drinking coffee, waiting for Carp to show up.
It is relaxing.
Yeah,
it is
really relaxing.
People wind me up. Why do you do that style of fishing? I can just sit here, eat all the food that I want and
wait for them to turn up.
Wait for them to turn up.
Fair enough.
Since the action slowed up a little bit, I thought I'd take this opportunity to run through the rods which I've been using on this session at the start of the show, the F20s. Down here on Oxley, the biggest cast that you're going to be doing is 90 to 100 yards. Normally I use 13-foot rods in my fishing, but 12-foot rods are more than capable of doing this distance. The test curve that I'm using is 3.5 pound test curve, and the reason I've decided to use this is it's just got a perfect playing action. I can fish in close, maybe chucking solid bags at shore and fish, or if the wind picks up, I can put a 4-ounce lead on and chuck it right out into the middle of the lake. Henry over there, he's using the 3.75s. To be honest, down here on Oxley, you can get away with either test curve, but Henry over there, he needs every little bit of help he can get to hit his massive spot out there at 15 rough, so his choice to get the stiffer test curve. But yeah, either test curve will do. And one final thing to mention is when they're on the rest there, they've got a nice minimalistic look, making them look super carpy.
And not quite lived up to expectation, has it, Finn?
I'm not gonna lie, when we got in this swim yesterday and we were showing out there, especially after you caught that first one, I thought, here we go. And then it's just sort of, I wouldn't say it's went downhill. We've caught...
I would say it's gone downhill since then.
No,
I'd
well,
say
it
it's gone
has been.
downhill
It has,
since then.
yeah, it's went downhill. But yeah, we've caught 4 carp. Lost one this morning, but apart from that, I think I can count on one hand how many shows I've seen today. I've seen a few this afternoon, but nighttime down here is normally a good time to get a few bites, so it's not over yet. What are you thinking? Are you going to change anything tonight, or are you just going to stick with it?
What I would do is, if I was here by myself and I had to stay in the swim, I'd go longer, because you're going longer, you're already fishing longer. I'm a bit like, well, that's pointless. I'd maybe try zigs. You've been trying zigs. It's really bad weather for zigs now. So I think, yeah, like you say, it's nighttime bites. It's not like someone's smashing it up over here, so they're just being weird, moody, pressured carp.
Well, at least it keeps it interesting for the competition. You could literally catch one fish, it could be the biggest, the best, and
And you
most.
get whitewashed 3-0.
There you
Could
go.
happen.
What
Could
is it now?
happen.
2-0?
2-0 to
2-0
you, yeah.
is still that third point. So fingers crossed I don't give us food poisoning with these burgers, eh?
Yeah, that would be nice as well.
What, food poisoning?
No,
Ends today.
you not giving us food poisoning.
Yeah, lift that one up, I don't really just yet. Oh yeah, you're sweet, you're sweet. Sorry about that, lad. Better be bigger than £24, I tell you that much. Better be bigger than £40. Honestly, if I land this, it's a miracle. It went underneath the tree down to our left. It's wiped out both of Henry's rods. It looks like it's about to wipe out my other rod, but the positive news is it's another bite. There is some good news at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, I'm not sure how big it is. Like I said, it's rooking quite a lot, so it's probably a small one. But yeah, I was just getting into bed. Similar time to yesterday when I had that first bite over the bait. But that's irrelevant because it came off. Oh, it's foul hooked, that's why. It just keeps getting better and better, Henry. It just keeps getting better and better. Yeah, that's how you do it. Get one rod out and the other rod's away. And I'm going to say the famous saying, which Tony doesn't like me saying, doesn't feel like a bad fish. I just sorted out that rod after a bit of a disaster. And we only had one rod left out in the lake. I literally cast out the first rod, it's hit the clip. As it entered the water, the rod on the rest let out a few bleeps and we're attached into another carp. I'm hoping this one's hooked in the mouth and I'm not going to lose it. But it does feel to be a little bit more weighty compared to the other ones. Just pinged off its peck there, I thought I'd lost it. But yeah, it does feel a little bit more weighty, so I'm just going to pray to God that it ends up in the net. Manifest it, it's going to pop up. It's going to be the big original, £42 12, big scaly thing. It's on the surface out there. Didn't look £42, but we'll take it. Go on. Oh, little chaotic 5-10 minutes there, but we have a happy ending. We've got a carp in the net.
You mean you've got a happy ending?
I've got a happy ending.
You've got a carp in the net. I've got no rods in the water because you wiped me out with a foul hook fish.
Welcome to the best part of parcel of Dare to Get Live.
Part of the excitement. No, well done, mate.
I tell you what would have helped is in that situation.
What?
If I'd been smart and put the yellow line on. Because I could see clear as day what was happening
Yeah,
with your lines. I couldn't see what was.
I can see mine out in the lake wrapped up in some sort of
mess.
In some sort of mess. I could see mine, yeah. It would have been helpful if we could have both of them, but oh well.
We've got one.
Yeah, he's a better one, isn't he?
Yeah. That was a messy 10 minutes, wasn't it? Yeah, 2 bites. The first one I lost, unfortunately, but I think it was foul hooked. But the second one Wasn't foul hooked, it was hooked in my bottom lip, and it's the biggest fish of the session, 25.5 pounds. I've got both rods back out there now. I'm going to put the fish back, top up with a bit of bait, because to get a couple of bites in a short window like that, I've got a feeling a few fish have moved in the area. You never know, putting a few more spods over the top might hold them there, and we might be able to increase our lead in this little competition. Get in. And as we approach the finish line, Finley starts taking the lead. My fourth fish of the session, and it's a bit of a tank, 36 pounds. Yeah, I cannot complain. I said to Henry at the start of this trip, but half one, for some reason down here on Oxlace's bite time, yesterday he had a bite bang on 1:30, and I've just had this bite at 1:33, so there's certainly something in it. But like I said, we're approaching the end of the session now. We've only got a few hours left. The score in numbers currently stands at 4-2. Obviously this is the biggest one, and the best fish, I'd probably give it to the fully. What a little trip this has been, eh? And it's not over yet. Unit.
Well, Finn, I think you won that one fair and square, mate. It was a pleasure to watch you angle here, I've got to say.
Thank you very much. Likewise, we don't get to fish with each other much, but did you enjoy it? What did you think?
It was different, I'm going to say that. It was different. I can see why people like it because of the quality of fishing catch like that big one you had last night.
Yeah, it was a good fish.
That was a really nice fish.
The important question, though, is would you come again?
I'm not going to be cancelling my Eurotunnel crosses anytime soon.
Not yet.
But I can definitely see myself coming back. I actually want to come back in the winter when it's a little bit quieter, and I think it sounds like some of the venues fish really well in the winter, so maybe we do that. Another match in the winter?
A little revenge trip, is it?
A revenge trip in winter. How does that sound?
Take you up on that offer.
All right, sounds good. All right, let's get out of here.